Hello everyone, welcome in. We have some new filings. As you saw in the last video, possibly, we talked about the response to the motion to suppress. This is now going to be the response to amend the conditions of Alexee's release, essentially the please let Alexee see Devin motion. I was so very annoyed when I saw the motion, and in my gut I felt like, wow, are they really showing their motive this openly? Anyways, this response made me very happy because it is just shady enough, and they pointed out a very good fact in here when they say, despite the counseling the defendant claims to have engaged with, she nevertheless sees no harm in attending college with a man her counsel describes as her boyfriend. The fact that the defendant has a boyfriend at all is an apparent violation of her current conditions of release. Now, I've seen people from Team Alexee take issue with the fact that this basically says she's not allowed to have an intimate relationship, she can't have a boyfriend. Well, it's mainly because obviously she killed technically a family member, but a person close to her. But also there are domestic violence situations in which the law needs to say you cannot be around people as a condition of your release past even a protective order, right? So there's multiple reasons for this under the law. It just so happens that it applies to Alexee right now, and it offends people who are trying to support Alexee. I understand it sounds weird when it says that she's not supposed to have an intimate relationship and yada, 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 but it is what it is. But essentially, that's right over here where they're saying, despite her going to counseling, she is not getting it. And they're also pointing out something I didn't really see anyone saying anywhere, which is a really great point, is that, just her even saying it's my boyfriend is a violation of the conditions of her release. Obviously, the court can't. This is going to get really, concrete versus intangible. But the intangible feeling that she has that Devin is her boyfriend in her heart, the court has no bearing on it. But they do have a bearing over if they have an actual relationship or not. Essentially, put it as like this. Soon as the court put this condition on her release, it was a pause button on their relationship. The only time you can communicate with each other is with an attorney present. That's why it was very, very insidious, disrespectful for Alexee to have filed this motion in the first place. If I was her attorney, I would have said, I don't think we should file this. Again, I'm just a paralegal, but I think my attorneys would back me up and say, why are we asking for this? If anything, we should be asking for leniency from the court in telling them, hey, I'd still like to go to the college I'm accepted to. It just so happens a witness goes to that college. Maybe can I still go, and I promise I won't communicate with that witness, and I will do my best to avoid them at all costs. And I understand and respect the law and the situation that I'm in, but instead they ask for just the law to be completely not applied to Alexee, which just kind of continues to show the delusion that they're under, that rules don't apply to them, that if you have a baby you don't want, you put the baby in the trash, right? That doesn't look great. If I were on this legal team, I would just have to speak up, and maybe sometimes I annoy my attorneys, but that's just my opinion. It looks like you're showing your motive. You seriously, I think, killed this baby because allegedly, supposedly, my opinion here as a lowly peasant paralegal, the baby was killed because it didn't fit her storybook, fairy tale textbook life that she wanted, which was cheerleader, married, goes to college with high school sweetheart, the athlete. They get married after college, get good jobs, then have a house and babies, maybe, right? Whatever. But I don't think it fit into what she wanted, and that's why she did this. And this motion that they filed kind of just reaffirms that for everyone. And so they basically are saying also in the at the very bottom of this other page right here, that coming up, I believe it's on the 22nd, and I'm getting my own copy of these documents very soon. They are being sent to me, and so that will also have the online link to this hearing. I don't know how lenient they are with allowing people on. I'm going to call and ask the court once I get the documents and tell them, hey, I just got my documents, I see this link. Will I or will I not be allowed to join the room. Obviously, I won't say anything. I won't record anything. I just like to be present. But if I'm allowed in, which I'm pretty sure it's public, they haven't asked for it not to be, then I'm in. Anyways, the state is saying here at the very bottom, this motion should not be granted, and we should actually discuss this coming up on the 22nd, right? We should actually discuss this when we go to court, which leads me to, let's take it all the way to the most hopeful belief. Maybe the state asks for them to take Alexee back into custody since she's not seeming to care about the conditions of her release. She's not seeming to take this seriously. It doesn't seem to have any kind of impact on her. 5-6 months until she's, in jail will teach you a lot, I'm sure. So, it is possible. Now, that's the highest, that's highest hopes over here, because obviously we're hoping for guilty verdict. Obviously, we want her in jail until then. But that's the highest hope. Below that, what she usually gets is a slap on the wrist and treated with kid gloves, which will probably be, you can go to college, but don't be communicating with Devin. I will be utterly shocked and, for lack of, pissed off. I'll be utterly shocked and pissed off if they modify this condition of her release. I'll say that. I don't usually try to be inflammatory or let things get to me. I am a hopelessly positive person. I am probably annoyingly positive, but that will honestly grind my gears. That will honestly really piss me off to no extent. If they were like, yeah, that's fine, just go see Devin, drive to college together, no big deal. I'll be pissed. And so I don't think that's fair, and I think that she deserves a fair trial, not a trial all in her favor along the way. That's not how things go. And I think that that's kind of what they're expecting. With that being said, I hope I can get into the courtroom legally. And if I'm able to, I will let everyone know. I will not violate any rules of being in there if I'm able to. So do not hope for anything like that. Obviously, everyone here we all care about the law and care about there being a fair trial. With that being said, I do hope that I can get in there and I can just assess and see. I'd love to see Gary Mitchell in action. That's really my main goal. I don't need the information or the scoop because I'm not going to tell anyone anything. Plus, we'll all get it figured out eventually. But I'd love to see Gary Mitchell in action. I'd love to see him live, see his arguments, hear him, see him in the courtroom. But this was a great response from the state. Even though it was a stand-in attorney, they were on it. So I'm pretty happy with this. This was a great motion. We will see where this goes, and we just have a little bit over a week or so until they do go into court to talk about some things and sort some things out. So hopefully we will have good information coming out from that. And then anything that happens in between then, of course, I will keep you updated. If you haven't yet, please subscribe because I'm going to follow this all the way to trial. So if you'd like to stay updated legally in this case, follow me. And I appreciate all the comments and questions down below. I try to respond to everyone, especially if you have questions with anything. And I truly appreciate it because otherwise I would just be annoying my fiance talking to him about this way too much. So thank you so much for listening. It's your girl Friday. Okay, bye.